Alright. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic Lesson and Classics. This is episode number 1800. No, excuse me, 18. It'll be 1911, Doubleshot number 1805. I have first a Superman trade dealing, of course, with New Teen Titans. First up, we have Superman versus Shazam. Yeah, this basically collects the various fights they've had over the years. They've had each other, or the team-ups they had from the 70s up until around the early 2000s. First up is a book that had never seen light of the trade. A very rare comic known as All New Collector's Edition number C-58. This story here is done by Jerry Conway and Rick Buckler. The whole point of this is called When Earths Collide. The whole point of this one, it's kind of in a way an early crossover between the Superman comics and, in the case of, in the Shazam comic, basically at that point in time. I say Shazam because that's what they had to call it when they published the series in the 70s. The reason was because Marvel owned the title, owned the name of Captain Marvel when it comes to publication. But for some reason, DC decided to have what the character is called Shazam, despite the fact it's basically the name of the wizard. Yep, Superman fighting, the Earth's mightiest Marvel. And you also have Supergirl. Yes, Supergirl. This, of course, is the Lynn Danvers one from the 70s. You have her taking on Mary Marvel. An excellent one-shot. And, the artist of the book is just really good. The other books in here are DC Comic 33, 34, 49. And number 3, Kingdom Come number 4. That's actually probably the mini-series. I've kind of discussed it, but I'm going to skip over that one. Power of Shazam number 46. And Superman, Volume 2, number 216. That was part of a crossover with, I think it was like X-Men Adventure Superman, where Superman got basically infected by Calypso. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the first thing published here is 72-page one-shot. Yeah, but it's really, really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really fun story here. Conway basically knows his stuff with this one. Yep. Now, in the case of, they have this funny bit at the end where you have Mary Marvel hugging on to Superman, and Supergirl with, Captain Marvel, because he's a kid. It's just so funny. Yeah. Now, of course, Jerry Conway will be co-writing. Now, Jerry Conway himself would actually co-write the first story for DC Comics Presents, and then Roy Thomas would basically do the rest. Yeah, Roy Thomas, fantastic writer, because his stuff for this series on Sea Gorgeous is awesome. I love his stuff. He has a lot of respect for the Golden Age characters, and treats them a lot of respect. So they team up in this story to take on various threats. Well, mostly it's all manipulation by Mr. Mind and Mixie Mix-Up-Lick. Yep. And in case 34, which is basically this is where Roy Thomas takes it fully, where you have teams with the Shazam family, not just Captain Marvel, but Shazam family. Yeah. And it's more Mixie and other guy stuff. We also have appearance by Uncle Dudley, who was basically, an honorary Marvel, who actually ends up taking care of Billy Batson. Yes. And it's also appearance here by Black Adam when he was a soup villain. Yep. This comes from the issue 49, where they take on Black Adam, which I thought was so cool. I think it's maybe been the first they took on each other. And the annual, they have these two take on Professor Savannah. Yep. With Jerry Cabrali as the co-writer for this book. Mm-hmm. Who was basically, I frequently work with Jerry Conway. Fun stuff here with this one. Now, what came next? Well, Kingdom Come, obviously, which I discussed before. Yeah. And this one here, 46. This actually, I think, would be the penultimate issue of Power of Shazam, because I think the book got canceled. Because I don't think the 46 was the final issue of the series. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. It actually continued on for at least one more issue. Yeah. So this was the penultimate issue of the whole series. Yep, it was. It was the penultimate issue, because the very next issue, right after this issue came out, was the final issue of the series. And today, I believe this is actually one of the few issues of this whole series to be collected and trade. Yeah, you probably think, really? Is that true? Yes, it is. Yeah, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but for some reason, only just the final issue, this issue here, and there's actually, and there's actually like a couple of appearances that cross up with Jack Knight for his Starman book, which it was issues Power of Shazam. It was let's see if I can find it here. Because for this 40 issue series, like only a small handful of comics basically let's see. Okay, here we go. So in the omnibus books, they collected issues 30. It was 35 and 36. And that was it. No, seriously. That's the only issues they put in there. For some reason, they did not include issue 32. Maybe because it's a flashback stuff related to Jack Knight. But yeah, so roughly out of 48 issues, only 4 in trade. This, 48, 35, 36, and that's it. Strange enough. Written, drawn, the entire series by Jerry Ordway. Yep, it is an absolute great book. Excuse me, in my opinion, because of the Shazam movies, it needs its own standalone trades, where it collects the whole entire 40-issue book. How many trades do I think it would take? About 4 or 5 trades. Yeah, and here's basically the whole. This is the Superman issue done by Joe Winning. This is Lightning Strikes Twice. Yeah, this is part of a crossover with Superman. People are thinking, wait, why don't you discuss the air parts of the story? Well, because I don't have them. Yeah, it actually crossed over with the 3 Superman books because Man of Steel would discontinue part of this. Part 1 would be Action Comics 826. Part 2 would be 639. You're probably thinking, of course, you have... Well, in these issues, do we have Billy Batson show up in these issues? Yes, he did. My guess is the reason why they just include Superman 216, and this is my personal opinion, because this basically have Superman fighting Shazam. That's simply what it is. But this book is great. I give this book a 9.5. I think it's that damn good. Alright, next up it is The New Teen Titans, Volume 14. Collecting New Teen Titans, Volume 2, issues 41-49, the 4th annual, Secret Origins 13, the 3rd annual, and like a page, like probably the cover for New Teen Titans, Tales to New Teen Titans number 91. Here's a fun fact about New Teen Titans Volume 1, where the final issue of the Volume 1 was called that, was actually 49. Yep. Yes, it was. Why in the world was this continued? Why was it name dropped to 49? Because they were going older, so they decided to drop the name for the book. Yeah, but here's basically what happens with the course issues. Now, the first issue here. By the way, all the issues are written by mostly, Mark Hope and George Perez. He does a little bit of the artwork here. Yeah, John Mark Luffer, Rachel Lucifer, Dan Muskin, and Mark Wade. Yes, Mark Wade did some stuff in here. You have artwork by Eduardo Barrito, I think he's the main artist in here, with the late Kurt Swan, Mike Collins, Gordon Persido, Carly Lauren, Chuck Falia, Kelly Jones, Ty Templeton, Paris Collins, George Perez, Tom Gremmett, Grant Mem, Irick, Michael Byer, Trevor, I need to admit this guy, a real nice guy, a person. The late David Cocker, I heard he's no longer alive. Kevin McGuire, another artist I met. Mark Bright, Dick McGuire, Dick Giordano, and Eric Larson. The cover here is by Eduardo Barrito. Yep. Now, the first issue here has the whole thing with Wildebeest. Yeah, the whole Wildebeest, that's a recurring storyline that continues into Titan's Hunt. Yeah, and that's basically what it is. Just more stuff with that. And more basically Cyborg's personal relationship with, well. Now, this also leads to stuff with Brother Blood and his wife who was pregnant with his child. And this would lead to something that would actually stay canon until the mid-2000s. Yes. So, in this storyline, the whole thing is, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a boy? Are we going to have another thing we'll get with the Brother Blood? No. They'd actually be a girl. Yes. A girl. And here's the weird thing. Winnick would retcon it years later to say, nope. Yeah, for some reason, actually, it was 42 this one. Yeah, 42 in a way kind of wrapped the whole storyline right to Brother Blood. Yeah, I don't really know why. It's just that for some reason they decided to do that for some reason. Where this basically wrapped this whole storyline related to Brother Blood. Yeah, Mother Mayhem herself, when she had kid, it was a girl. And then for some reason, it was later retcon. She had another kid with him. Named Jessica Barnett. Yeah, they later retconned this where she also had a son too. Yes, another kid. For some reason, I don't know why. Winnick decided to retcon this. Yes, he retconned it for reasons. I have no idea why in the world he did this for. Yeah, this made an effect of a storyline conclusion to Brother Blood for about 16 years. And then basically like, oh, they also had a girl too, a boy too for some reason. And this kid later killed the original Brother Blood, which that was one thing I did like about Outsiders, is that they killed off the Brother Blood character because he I was not a fan of. Not really, no. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, what just happened where they basically write off Mother Mayhem, where she has her daughter, and then like years later, oh, it's not a girl, it's a boy. No idea what was the reason for that. If I get a chance to make Winnick, I'm going to ask him that obvious question. Why the heck did you retcon the whole thing of him having a girl? Yeah. In case you're curious, though, were the annuals continued even after the name was changed? Yes. The 4th annual, final annual callback before they changed to New Titans. Then we have Rain versus Phobia. Yep. There's also something here with Danny Chase. Yeah. Who Linkara deems him his favorite character this whole series, his favorite superhero. Yeah. So more so Brother Evil. Not Brother Evil. The Brotherhood of Evil. Yeah, and then pretty much like the many issues of this trade here started with like right after the annual in here. The annual just deals with private lives of the Teen Titans, which is I think was really good here. Mm-hmm. Start with issue 47. By the way, this is a really good cover, not done by Eduardo. No, they actually have this. No, the novel cover art of the issues was done by Eduardo Barrito. This is done by Kevin Stassi, which I love this cover. It's really good. Yes, the whole point of this is a 3-part storyline, where first a little backstory of some of the characters for the Teen Titans. Deal with their backstory, and like immediately afterwards, then we have a storyline with Red Star. Yes, Red Star. Originally, he called himself Starfire, but he changed him to Red Star in order of confusion with Starfire herself. Yeah, 3-part story gets framed for a crime he didn't commit, and then we have where Cyborg starts a relationship with, well, Sarah Charles. And as for the other stuff in here, Secret Origins 13, they just have this story here. This story is not here. They just have the Nightwing story, which is just a recap of basically of Nightwing's backstory. Mm-hmm. It takes place depicted over the course of takes place during events of New Teen Titans 16 and 19, or Tales of Teen Titans 74 to 77. So basically concurrently with that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically Nightwing recap is backstory that one. The annual, which basically is kind of like an untold tale of the classic Teen Titans. That's most of what it is. But yeah, this book is fantastic. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Now, would it be a volume 15? Don't know. They might just rename it to simply New Titans. Yeah, that's complete baffling to me. Like, it's questionable if we're going to get a volume 2. I have no earthly idea if we are. If there is going to be a volume 2, I don't know. I'd be happy if there was one. Yes. Yes, I would. Do I think it'd be one? I have no idea. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anything for it. So, either next time we see this, we'll have a Volume 15 for this, or it's going to be New Titans Volume 1. It's possible, but who knows? It all depends upon DC Comics. But yeah, with this, I have pretty much covered almost the entirety of the New Teen Titans book by Marv Wolfman. Yeah, covered roughly about 8 years worth of comics here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Because basically, these issues were released from March 1988 to November 1988. Basically, almost the entirety of the year 1988. Oh, in case you might be asking, 88, the year I was born. What issue came out the very same month as my birth? It was actually issue 42. The whole thing with the child and Brother Blood stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Sick Review. Will I have another video planned tonight? I don't think, the case of Hammer in the World, I probably save it for tomorrow. That's why I think I'm doing 3 other anime, so I'll probably save it for tomorrow at this point in time. The other video I might put up is maybe a Comic Corner, but that's simply it, okay? Next video. Bye.